Hello and welcome to Tech Guinness. My name is Chandra and I'm a technology explorer. In this video, we will see Authorization Code Flow. I will show you the demo of Authorization Code Flow with Keycloak. So let's begin. So basically this Authorization Code Flow, or you can say the auth code flow, like what it will do, it will enable the client application to obtain the authorization access to your protected resources, like your web APIs or your protected resources. It could be anything. So basically what we are saying that the third party apps, they can initiate a authorization code flow. They can get the user authorization based on the user consent. Okay. So if the user is allowing that app, right? So our authorization server, in our case, it is Keycloak. So what Keycloak will do, it will provide the authorization code to the third party app. Okay. And with this authorization code, they can get an access token, and with this access token they can call the protected resource. They can access the protected resource. So let's see the flow, sequence flow. Right, as a user I am coming to the web application. I have clicked on the login link. So this is my step 1. Once I've clicked the login link, my web app will redirect me to the Keycloak, which is authorization server. It could be any authorization server, may it be right Okta or Auth, it could be anything. In most of the cases, the URLs like /authorize, it is common, right? From the well-known endpoint, you can get to know what are the different URLs that are exposed by authorization server. Okay, so step 2, like we are requesting for an authorization code. So when this request goes to Keycloak, it will redirect to login prompt. So again the flow will go back to the user. Okay, so now the flow is coming back to user. Now user will authenticate and provide the consent. Okay, so authenticate, so the user's identity will be in this our authorization server, which is Keycloak. So he will authenticate, he or she will authenticate and provide the consent. So consent is not mandatory here. So you can, in Keycloak, you can enable or disable the consent screen. I will show you in the hands-on demo part. So once that is successful, step 4, Keycloak will provide the authorization code to the web application, which is the third party application. So now the third party application, it will send the authorization code plus client ID and a client secret to /auth/token. So this token endpoint would be something like this only. Okay. So now what Keycloak or the authorization server will do, it will validate the authorization code, client ID and client secret. If all the combination is fine, it will provide the ID token and access token back to the web application. Now once we got the access token, I will request the protected resource using that access token. If access token is validated, it's an active token, right? I'll get the response back. So this is how authorization code flow works. So now let's go to Keycloak and see how things works. So now I'm into my Keycloak and this is the Keycloak 19. So if I go to clients, right, I have created this authcode-flow-demo. Okay, so what it is, it's the client that I have created, and you can say client ID, it's already right, whatever the name of the client I created, that would be client ID, right? Then I was talking about the consent, right? So you can see here, right, consent required. So that is how I can enable or disable the consent. So if I click on off, then you will be seeing that these are disabled, display client on screen and all those things. So let's enable it. Okay, this is the client consent screen text. I'll save it. Okay, now I'm saying client authentication required, authorization required, authentication flow standard. Now there is a difference between the authorization code flow and the implicit flow. Okay, in implicit flow you can directly get the access token, but in authorization code flow, you will get the authorization code. Then you can exchange this authorization code with to get the access token. So let's remove the implicit flow from here right now. Okay. So this is the client setup. Okay. Nothing new here. Okay. So for authorization code flow, this would be the URL, something like this. Okay. So /auth is the authorization code flow URL. So /auth, after that a response type equal to code. That is where we are saying that it's a authorization code flow. Upon successful authentication, I will get the authorization code and I am passing the client ID. So if I take this, right, I'll go to the incognito window, put it here. Now you can see the URL has redirected me to the login page. Okay. So here we need to add the user. Now you can see that it has redirected me to the redirect URL. Okay. So I'll copy this and just paste it here. Now you can see this is the code. Okay. So this is the code here which I have got, and for redirect URL, those who are looking for, these are the valid redirect URL. That's why I am getting once the authentication is successful, right? Then Keycloak is redirected me back to the redirect URL and appending the authorization code. Okay. So now this is the OpenID Connect token API. So here I need to provide this code. So at this point of time, let's forget code verifier and redirect URL. Only three things, right? In our flow sequence diagram I shown you, right? Client, the code, the client ID, and even let's forget the secret. Okay. So if I am sending this, okay, sorry. So client secret I need to provide. So now why we got this code not valid? The thing is that when I have deselected client secret and I sent the request, the code was used. Okay. And this authorization code, keep in mind that is one time usage. Okay. You cannot use it again. So what we will do, we'll again initiate the flow. Okay. In the same window, we can do that because session is already like set up. Okay. I need not to log in again. So I got this, just paste it here, take the code. Okay. And I will put the code here. Yes. So you can see we got the response. Okay. So I got the access token, right? It expires in 60 seconds. Then refresh token expires and refresh token, right? Token type is bear, not before policy, and all those stuff, right? So that is how it's a two-step process, right? Step 1, I got the authorization code. Step 2, I got the token to access the protected resource. So put your comments in the comment section asking your queries. In earlier videos, if you see, like people have asked queries and I was able to help them via the comment section itself. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Do subscribe to the channel if not already. Thank you very much.